Feet up.
Operation,
Feet
lean
up.
back. Operation Feet Up is what I roll with. What do you guys spent this week killing me about this week?
I don't
It's
think they
from
really
the
killed you.
Department of Redundancy Department.
Yeah. I don't, much like the radio show itself, I sort of forget after drill is
Yeah, so do I. It's amazing how many times I will walk around town at like
man of the people.
I am a man of the people.
Jeff about town.
I'm Joe Jacksonville, dude.
You are.
I'm as comfortable at the beach as I am the west side at Hyde Park as I am Sawgrass.
They're kind of your people.
I'm as comfortable drinking, a glass of Pinot as I am, a Schlitz.
PBR on the
Yeah,
west
correct. PBR, Pinot, it's all the
Straight
same
out of the
thing,
can.
So, yes.
Sure.
But I can't tell you how many times someone will come up to me, early afternoon and just really want to talk about something that we were talking about or something that was funny, and you have to tell me what you're talking about.
You're going to have to refresh me.
Yeah, you really are. That's what happens when you talk for 4 hours.
Yeah. Obviously, the Hall of Fame vote was the big talk here today on the drill. That and the Senior Bowl. We're desperately trying to find a quarterback.
That Mike Dempsey's a disagreeable sort.
He is an
Yeah,
argument.
he follows up, and Mike Dempsey's one of those guys that you tell him blue, and he'll say no Azure. I mean, holy cow! I mean,
he likes
what a shocker that the biggest Yankee homer that I know is happy with it. Ooh, that wasn't predictable at all.
He's got full FS1, and he likes to embrace debate.
Hey.
I don't think there's anything else we can say about it.
No, here's what bothers me in this job sometimes. What bothers me in a job where you're supposed to be a communicator, it bothers me when I try, for 4 hours to make a point. At the end of the 4 hours, no one's getting my point.
Yeah.
They're taking the initial comment, and then they're running off in another direction. The point never is that Mariano Rivera isn't a Hall of Famer. The point isn't that he doesn't deserve to be a first ballot. But it's not as simple. It's such an elementary argument to say, well, would you vote in first ballot? Then why wouldn't he? It's bigger than that. It's different than that. And so, whatever kept Ken Griffey or Cal Ripken or Greg Maddux, I'm trying to use Nolan Ryan. I'm trying to use recency because, you get into cultural and racism and other things back in the day. But just some of the more, listen, at the end of the day, if Mariano Rivera, if we were having a draft of all-time players, would not go in the top 100, not top 50. That's what, he might not go in the top 50 if we just drafted pitchers because there's more important positions. So, to me, I think the best analogy, but I can't get anyone to go with me on this. I think what's happened here is people know that Mariano Rivera is great, and they're not huge baseball fans, and so shut up, he shouldn't be unanimous. Of course he is. I think he's in the Hall.
And there was, and there's something to the Yankee factor and that mystique and everything that came with it that, I think your recollection of Mariano Rivera might be even more dominant than what he actually was, which was incredibly dominant.
Yeah, he was really, look, he was a monster in the postseason on a team that measures itself by postseason success.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and by that standard, he's an all-time great. But
clearly,
I had one guy call me.
I can see it right here. We start talking baseball and the numbers go down.
Yeah,
I
had one guy call me and say, we might be entering a phase where now we're going to see a handful of unanimous guys because
we should.
The demographics and the writers are younger writers are now becoming part of the BWAA and things are changing and maybe we're going to see more guys.
I think ultimately, I hope we do because I think we get back to establishing the level of dominance as being first ballot guy rather than unanimous because we're splitting hairs here. Only an idiot wouldn't put Ken Griffey Jr. in the first ballot. Correct. Only an idiot wouldn't put Greg Maddux or Nolan Ryan or Tom Seaver. You've got to be a moron to not think that those are Hall of Famers regardless of when they show up on the ballot.
Immediate Hall of Fame candidacy.
Correct.
And that's right. And that's just being difficult about the unanimous thing. So, a handful of guys are like, well, I'm going to leave him off so he doesn't go unanimous.
Right. Which was wrong all along. But anyway, that's a separate story. So anyway, in order to get the numbers to go back up, football, Senior Bowl, quarterback, Blake Bortles, football, Senior Bowl.
No, going to be down. You keep mentioning Blake.
Look, he went up to 11.
We're trying to find the next, not Blake, in Mobile right now. And if, like you said, if it's not going to be Dwayne Haskins or Kyler Murray, it's got to be one of these guys that's out there.
Well, the top, really, you've got basically the next 8 guys, not quite in order, but if you go to the Scouts Inc. Rankings and ratings and evaluations of these players, you've got 3 through 9 over there. So there are a couple guys I'm staying away from, and I'm in an argument with my dear friend Andy King from the J.B. Coxwell Company. He likes Trace McSorley a lot. I'm not taking a 6-foot guy with small hands who completed 53% of his passes as a senior.
That's too many red flags.
Listen, if you've got Josh Allen and you're 6'6" and 240 and you have a 53% completion percentage, Well, I got a little bit better structure there. But if you're talking about a guy barely 6 feet tall completing 53% of his passes, no thank you. I'm in not any kind of mood, nor I don't think any Jaguar fan is here, to experience any growing pains. We want something a little more ready-made. If it's not Nick Foles, it better be a ready-to-go rookie like Baker Mayfield proved to be last year.
Yeah, and I know, Steve on the comments says draft Greer in the second round. I know a lot of fans locally
Don't want to do that.
are on that train. Rather get a more immediate impact guy in the first round and try to find that developmental quarterback like Greer in the second round who, measured 6'3", put up huge numbers at West Virginia, looked good in his limited time in Florida, certainly looks like a guy who can transition.
I know we all say that, but if you sign Foles, I don't think people are going to want to take Will Greer in round 2 because then you're going to really start thinking about, hey, I got some other holes here I need to fill. And I need some help on the offensive line. I could use a linebacker. I could use some skill. I could use a receiver, a tight end. I got a lot of other areas here that if I'm paying, because here's the thing with Foles: if you get Foles, you're paying Foles.
Right.
You're not coming in here for $8 million a year. You're going to pay Nick Foles. Well, if you're paying a lot at that position, then you're going to have to fill some other positions cheap, and the cheapest way to fill positions is with young players in the NFL. So I don't think you can afford. Look, second round is still upper talent with a lower pay. I can't sacrifice that chance to plug a guy into the lineup at low pay to stash a quarterback. I just can't. Not with the defense where it is. Not with the.
Not when you can possibly find
the state of the
some
team.
kind of playmaking target that if you're signing a Nick Foles can utilize.
Correct.
On the cheap for a handful of years.
It's going to be exciting though to see good quarterback play here in town. And I will say this about Blake. Don't think that all the good ones are just great every week.
No.
And the problem is we just saw, you would see it from play to play with Blake Bortles, sometimes having nothing to do with the defense and sometimes having something to do with it. So the Senior Bowl coverage with the boys will continue over there in Mobile.
Yeah, we'll touch base with one of the XL Primetime boys again tomorrow. Then they'll be back at the ranch Friday, and we'll have our Friday visit with Matt Hayes. So we'll get the recap on what went down in
Tiger tees off tomorrow. Did brunch with the tour. I picked Tiger, so
Jeff picked Tiger. Club
let's
Tiger.
pull for Tiger.
He's kind of a honorary member of Club Tiger this week.
Yes, I am.
Dan, of course, has the lifetime membership.
Well, he's kind of let it slip, so I'm not sure. It's disappointing, really. We went to a lot of trouble to get him that.
We did put a lot of work into that.
But
we worked as hard as whoever signed you up for the ASPCA.
That was Ox. That was the Ox game.
Was that Ox?
Yeah, and then once we changed buildings, the forwarding never changed.
Never really
the little sad pictures of puppies and kitty cats, I don't get anymore.
Yeah, they just go across the street.
Yeah, I don't. That's kind of a guilt magazine, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, what's the
just
point
like
of
those
that
commercials.
I don't. Does anyone watch those commercials when they come on? Is there anybody who watches the?
You watch them if it's like 1:30 in the morning and you're on the couch and the
kind of
remote's too far away and you're like.
But yeah,
that's bad, and you want to give them money.
Yeah, I don't know if that is an effective campaign either in the arms of an angel. It's just too sad. It makes me depressed. Pets are supposed to make you happy.
Wayne asks, when's the Guggen Open?
The Guggen Open has been moved. That's a good question because it's usually at the beginning of March, and we have moved it this year to I think like July maybe.
Yeah, it's later in the year with the players in March Madness this year. It's a busy March, so it's been moved to later in the year.
Yeah, I think it may stay later in the year because our host at the World Golf Village at Slammer Squire is an awesome golf course, and its availability, in early April compared to July just give us more daylight. We can do more stuff. We'll have more fun, and we'll all sweat our
keisters off.
Titleist off.
Just more, more reason to pack your cooler.
I got not gonna lie. It started at 6 a.m. It's now 10:10. I've got nothing left to give.
I appreciate your effort today, John.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Goodbye, Guggens. We love you. We'll be back tomorrow. All three of us will.
Wow.
Dan had to leave early. Hopefully, we'll have lots of exclusives from Jalen Ramsey and Calais Campbell.
I doubt it.
You heard it here first.